For today's episode, I thought it would be kind of fun to do a deep dive on just one single cocktail technique, because I know that a lot of you guys like that. And this is kind of a new approach to doing videos. I don't think we've really done videos this way, but instead of just doing a video on a random bar or some cocktails that you might like, today we're going to be talking about a technique, and specifically we're going to be talking about the daisy and the sour, and then how the daisy is different from the sour. I gotta say, I think that this is my most proud moment. Like, I actually finally have a copy of the book that I wrote. It took me a year and a half to write this book. I'm very proud of it, and it's gonna be available October 7th, but it's on pre-order right now. So I would just implore everyone to go buy a book. The more books you buy, the better it is for me, and then I can make another book for you guys. I'm already thinking about new books, but I'm just super proud of this, and I just hope that you guys really enjoy it. So go out. There is a genius link below this video, or in the link in bio if you're on Instagram, and buy this book. I think you guys will really like it, and I worked really hard on it, and I love you guys, and you love me, and I love you, and you love me. It's a love fest over here, so pick up my book. There is a lot of confusion about what a daisy is as a category, and that greatly has to do with the way that cocktails have been defined over their history. So nowadays, we like to have everything very minutely compartmentalized. We like everything to be neat and tidy and have a very specific definition about what's what. But back in the day, when it came to cocktails especially, not only did cocktails differ just by one ingredient sometimes, and then those one ingredient differentiations created entire categories, but what confuses a lot of modern drinkers is also that there can be several different approaches to just one drink, and that is why there's a lot of confusion about what the daisy is and what it isn't. So when I was a young bartender, the definition of a daisy was that a daisy was a sour, but instead of having any sugar syrup in it, so instead of having simple syrup or honey or maple or something like that, it would have a liqueur in place of that sugar, and that back in the day, like back in the 1800s, liqueurs tended to be more sweet in that they just contained more sugar. And so therefore, they would be able to balance a cocktail that had a good amount of citrus in it. And that in modern times, liqueurs have less sugar, and so they do not balance the cocktail properly. We're not gonna balance that lime or that lemon, and so you need to have a little syrup in there to create that balance. Now, some of you may know that I recently wrote a book, and when I was doing some research into the daisy category, because the book is broken down into various cocktail categories, I found out that in actuality, daisies have always been a category which either had cocktails with no simple syrup and just a liqueur, or simple syrup and a liqueur. They had both. So the definition that I learned as a young bartender just wasn't true. It just didn't hold up to scrutiny when I started digging into the category. What I found out was that in actuality, daisies have always been a category which either had cocktails with no simple syrup, where the liqueur was trying to balance the citrus, such as the margarita and the sidecar, and they were also a category where the liqueur was split with a little bit of sugar syrup to help the balance out. This has always been what they are. So technically, what a daisy is a sour cocktail where some liqueur has been cut in to create another layer of flavor, and that cocktail can contain simple syrup sometimes, and then sometimes it doesn't, and there are plenty of examples on either side. Nowadays, I think we recognize that liqueurs just aren't sweet enough to have just a liqueur balance the cocktail properly. It's just not gonna balance that citrus out, and so some modern iterations of cocktails, like if you look at, let's say, Death and Company versions of the sidecar, then you will note that there is a little sugar added, like a little 2-to-1 simple syrup, added into that recipe to create that balance, but not necessarily compete so much with the flavor profile being provided by the liqueur. Now, of course, if you want, you can add different types of sugars such as turbinado, demerara, or just straight up brown sugar to create a secondary flavor profile in your cocktail. I mean, it's not against the rules or anything, but just remember that adding in that sugar is going to create a different flavor that is either going to highlight or compete with the liqueur that you add. Now, of course, if you want to just create a daisy in the way that it would have been done back in the day, and you don't want to add that secondary flavor profile and just highlight what you get with the liqueur, then you just make simple syrup with regular granulated sugar. It's something that I like to call, I don't know, neutral sweetness in a cocktail. People ask me what neutral sweetness is, or does neutral sweetness exist? But to me, it's just something that is sweet, that doesn't add any massive flavor profiles to something. So the question is, what are the best cocktails to look at when we're talking about the Daisy category? So I thought we could just make just a straight up gin Daisy. This would have been one of the first Daisies in the category. We're gonna make one traditional, we're gonna make one modern, and then we're going to taste them side by side, talk through the flavor profile, and then we'll have learned a little bit about Daisies, and you guys will be able to take that knowledge with you to the bar that you work at, the bar you're trying to get hired at, or just, you know, I don't know.
Or just make really good drinks at home.
Or just make really good drinks at home, but where are they gonna share all this Daisy knowledge with people?
I mean, do you need to share it? Just keep it to yourself.
Just keep it to yourself.
Just know that you are doing it
Know
right.
that you make a superior Daisy. That's something. That is, I guess that is something. You could do that. I don't know if that's really, let's do this up. All right, so do side-by-side Daisies here. They're very, very, very similar to one another. We're gonna use our very new, people have been asking me about this, and somebody put it somewhere. Now I gotta find it, but
it's over here.
What?
It's right there, at the corner of the trolley.
Ah, is this the new one? Is this the new? Yeah, this is the new. So this is the completed prototype of our Barfly squeezer that we made in conjunction with Barfly by Mercer. So here they are side by side. This is the first prototype. This is the last prototype. Love this. It's gonna make it so, this little pin that you pull to get this out, make it so easy to clean it, dude. It's like, that right there is a game changer. This is freaking the biggest lemon I've ever seen. Jesus. Oh, you get such a good squeeze. What I love about this is that the handle is super ergonomic. And it's like you can like press down and get your shoulder into it. All right, there we go. So we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. And then what we're gonna do here is, for the traditional, we're gonna do another 3/4 of an ounce into our tin. And then for the modern, we're gonna do 1/2 ounce into the tin. And then for the modern, we're gonna do another 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. That's where we're gonna balance our citrus. And we're just gonna do 2 ounces of gin. We're using this good Still Austin American gin. You know what's crazy? I just dirtied 2 jiggers for no reason. It's not very good mise en place or whatever, but. All right. Ooh, I frickin' sealed that real hard. Damn. Dang, son. So this is the traditional. I almost want to like, I don't know if I'm getting too crazy here, but I kind of want to just like use different strainers and everything so they don't touch each other at all. And that's the modern. All right, let's taste. Traditional. Just taste again. Very tart, not balanced. Lemon forward with an undercurrent of the Curacao. We used the dry Curacao. It's gonna have a little bit more sugar than something like Cointreau would have. Still a nice cocktail. If you like something that's on the like on the tart side, for those of you that like to eat a lemon wedge, it's actually not bad.
Who does that?
I know some people that like to eat lemon wedges. Here's the thing, it's not so tart that like it's gonna make you pucker, but it is a lot more sour and a lot less sweet. And some people do like that flavor profile. Hence all of the people who eat tons of like sour candy, for instance. Like it kind of has that sort of sour candy vibe with a little bit less sugar. You could do something like a sugar rim on this. This is what is done to a sidecar to make it like technically you know, balanced because you do a sugar rim on the sidecar, but it doesn't really work out that way. It definitely needs sugar in it. Also, then we have the modern right here. It's a lot more balanced. You have that sugar that's immediately balancing the lemon, or goes a long way to balancing the lemon. And you're taking that simple syrup and you're combining the sugar in the simple syrup with the sugar in the liqueur to create somewhere around 3/4 of an ounce of sugar or thereabouts, maybe a little less. So it's just a lot more balanced. You get all the botanicals of the gin, you get the lemon, but then this one just has like more immediate balance. It is sweeter than the other one, but not in a cloying way. It is just fully balanced. So if you want something that is going to be like a lemon candy with a little botanicals in it, you would do a traditional one. If you like something that's a little bit more tart than sweet and still have that undercurrent of orange, then you would do the traditional. Both are good cocktails in their own way. Personally, I'm a modern Daisy guy and less of a traditional. But you know what? You can figure out which guy or gal you are. Today's Educated Barfly video is sponsored by The Educated Barfly. I don't know if you guys know this, some of you do, some of you don't, but we've got lots of really good products in our store and we are constantly adding to those products. One of our very new additions, freeze-dried garnishes. So whereas a dehydrated garnish gives you sort of like a more tea-like caramelized scent, the freeze-dried version of that is a little bit brighter, and then all the sugars when you freeze dry it come to the surface, and so you get a very bright, fresh orange flavor. These guys have been a real big hit since we put them in the store. We get lots of orders for them. We also have a little bit of glassware. We have our now kind of iconic Nick and Nora style glass that we did in a regular and honeycomb pattern. This is a 6-ounce glass, kind of Nick and Nora style. And we have a brand new, more coupe style glass. It's 7 ounces. We also have the honeycomb pattern in this as well. So if you're a fan of the channel and you want to help us out, this is a very good way to help the channel and then also get something out of it. A lot of this is the glassware that you see in our videos, and so you'll be able to recreate the same cocktails that we make in the studio at home with the best possible recipes, the best possible instructions, and now the best possible glassware and garnishes.